We welcome you back to the finest fieldhouse in the world of high school basketball, Newcastle. And if we are here in late December, it means it is time for the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. We are thrilled to have it back on the ISC Sports Network for the third time in the last 4 years. And we start with our first of two girls' games today. The Shamrocks of Westfield taking on the Grizzly Cubs of Franklin. Alongside a two-time state championship winning head coach in Pete Smith, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And these are two teams you're going to see a little bit of in the Central Indiana area coach on a regular basis. Let's start with Westfield, where the focus clearly is on Alyssa Crockett, who's going to play next year at the University of Michigan.
She's an outstanding player. She's the total package. She plays defense, she plays offense, she rebounds, scores. Outstanding player. She's got good role players around her, but she is the engine of this team.
And there's a couple of players you could clearly point out for Franklin in terms of Brunson, Traylor, etc. But the three is the thing for Franklin. Nobody shoots it as much as they do. Let me do the math for you. 32 minutes in a high school basketball game. Franklin averages taking just under 29 threes a game. They're putting basically one of every about a minute and 5 seconds during the course of the game.
When I was talking to Coach Josh Sabo, he said, we're a little down this year. We averaged 12 a game last year. We're only to 10 so far this season. He's hoping to get that number up.
So again, today's game presented in part by our friends at Ball State University. We fly. Let's get to our keys to today's game. Coach, where do we begin in terms of what's going to be important for each of these two teams?
Obviously, good shooting from the three-point area is going to be a big one. So defending the three is what I thought the first one, how Westfield defends that three. Pace of play. Franklin's going to get up and down and find that line and shoot it. Westfield wants to be more deliberate in the half court. And finally, as we just said in the opening, how Crockett plays. She's one of the outstanding players this year in the senior class.
There are three teams, of course, on the floor today: Westfield, Franklin, and today's officials. And our officials are brought to us by Andrew Prince of the Ferris Property Group, Mike Daly, Rick Frank, and Mike Nicholson, our three-man officiating crew for today's contest. And thank you to Andrew for hopping on today's broadcast. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, or even investing when it comes to real estate, Andrew Prince is here to help. And that's anywhere in Central Indiana. Call him today at 317-883-7575 or find him online at prince.indyhomehunt.com. So the Westfield starting lineups have been introduced. Again, Alyssa Crockett, their top player, at 19 points and 8 rebounds a game. Ellie Kelleher, Chesney Tebby, Olivia Roby, Haley Remax rounding out the starting five for head coach Jenny Smith. And now for the Grizzly Cubs of Franklin. Again, their leading scorer is Ashlyn Traylor. Ashlyn is a 5'9" senior at 15 points and 6 rebounds a game. Lauren Clem, Curran Brunson, Scarlett Kimbrell, and Erica Buning round out the starting five for Franklin. Erica is one of 2 daughters of former Franklin College Grizzlies that are on this Franklin squad. Emma Sappenfield is the other for this team that made their deepest push in a 4A tournament last year. They reached the semi-state before Brownsburg knocked them out of the tournament.
And they're off to a great start, 16-0, as you said. This will be, I believe, their most challenging game they've had so far in the first 17 games. And this is going to be an outstanding contest.
And it's one of the things, Pete, that, again, when you start to do girls basketball games this late in the year and you see the number of games they have played in comparison to the boys' teams, it drives that point home. That's right. There's 1 month left to go in the season. For most of these teams, they have already gotten past the halfway point of the season. In fact, Franklin, after today, has 6 regular season games left to play. That's it.
I noticed that. So this is a huge contest, a great barometer for them as they head into sectional play within the next month and a half.
Jenny Smith there at the center of your shot. She is the head coach of the Westfield Shamrocks. Tremendous story that Kyle Nedrip has done in the Indianapolis Star this week. Jenny, you'll see her son Braden tomorrow as Westfield is the first team since Newcastle to have played in both the boys and girls event simultaneously. That happened 15 years ago. So Jenny's son is Braden, who's going to play at Purdue University, and Jenny has announced this is the last year she is coaching the girls team at Westfield. Alyssa Crockett wins the tap, and we are underway in the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. Thank you so much for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.
Coach Josh Zabel kind of puts his, he's a big man-to-man defense guy, so they will play man almost the entire game. Doesn't really muddy the waters much otherwise.
You talked about tempo. Does Westfield try to play at a slower tempo or just kind of go out and do what they do?
No, I think they're going to play at a little bit slower tempo, but they'll take good shots when they have it, like right there.
That would be a good shot, and it finds the bottom of the net. Chesney Tebby, 5'8" senior, 5 points and 3 rebounds a game. And
little 1-2 half-court trap Westfield starts out in.
That's the joy you can do with Crockett, who can play almost every position but point guard. They've got her at that 6'2" length at the top of that frame, and the defensive pressure almost leads to a turnover. Trailer misses one.
Misses two.
This is the second. There is Buning. And Clem with the first of many threes throughout the course of the day. Brunson touched it last, out of bounds to Westfield.
Hey, here it is.
So right away, Westfield trying to get Franklin out of their comfort zone, playing a 1-2-2 half-court trap. It was a relatively hard trap.
This is a Franklin team that averages 14 steals a game.
Just about had one there, and they're going to have a tie-up jump ball.
And the arrow will give it to Franklin. So first turnover of the game committed by Westfield. Westfield turns it over 14 times a game. Do not be surprised that number is more today. That is simply how tenacious Franklin can be defensively.
Well, I was neglect to say, Coach Zabel and the Grizzly Cubs play half-court man-to-man defense, but they do pick it up full court because they want to make steals and get a three up if they get an opportunity.
Clem, a 5'2" sophomore. Buning.
Bank.
Let's fire it. Her father works for a bank, so it's not surprising she got the bank shot to go.
Well, we're blessed with a good angle there. I could tell that was going to go off the glass.
Called it immediately. So first three gets a little help for Franklin. And now Crockett going to work. And that will be a turnover. And again, Franklin makes you play at a frenzied pace.
Yes, they do.
Man.
And they're pretty deep. They go 8 deep with 8 pretty good solid players.
Franklin, one of the top offensive outputs in the state at over 70 points per game. Last time they played was 7 days ago. They hosted their own Holiday Classic where they beat Linton Stockton, the 2-time defending 2A state champs. Steal forced by Westfield. First Franklin turnover. On the drive, shot no good. Trailer the rebound. And Brunson racing down the floor. Crockett with a block. Ball was clean, but got enough body on the push. We'll see 2 free throws coming up for Curran Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson did a great job of using her body as she was getting to the rim, protected the shot well, and she had no choice. Here's a great look at it here.
Well, Brunson will shoot 2. First one, no good.
Somebody who's got shooter.
Nothing but net on that one.
So 4-2 the score. Brunson makes 1 of 2.
Solid man-to-man press again by Franklin after the made free throw.
Good job, Lauren.
There's the overload for the high-low. Here comes the back screen for Crockett. They're going to try to get it to her on the block. Good skip pass.
Spot up 3 left side for Westfield. This is everything, and Buning with the rebound. That was Kelleher that took the shot and missed it. And Trailer down the lane and scores it. Ashlyn Trailer makes it 6 in a row for the Grizzly Cubs.
Just the defensive intensity by Franklin gets you out of your offense unintentionally. And right now, Westfield needs to get their pace a little bit in the half court.
Here it goes. We're going under, Erica, going under.
There's Crockett on the block.
Crockett scores. And again, Alyssa Crockett can score in a variety of ways. An outstanding 3-point shooter as well.
She is more versatile than most of the seniors in the state. That's an added plus for her game. And there's a steal. Great trap at the half court.
And 3 points, well, should have been for Westfield, but unfortunately, Roby couldn't cash it in. Second Franklin turnover. This Westfield team holding opponents to 39 points per game. Traylor with the bucket. Simply put, Franklin will score more than 39 today because they are as offensively talented as anybody in the state. And taking the layup and missing it was Kelleher. Back-to-back bunnies missed. Brunson will pull for a spot up three, and the bank is open on both sides of the Fieldhouse this morning, and a timeout taken by Westfield, a 30-second timeout.
Yep, just the pace of play. I know you're saying, well, gosh, Westfield's missed 2 layups, but at the pace they're playing, they're not used to getting those as quick. So they'll make those a little bit later.
Today's broadcast presented in part by Henry County Economic Development. Basketball is center court in Henry County, Indiana. Experience icons, well, like the one we're in right now, the Hoosier Gym, and next door, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. You can also discover enriching, entertaining, and recreational experiences throughout the community and memories that last a lifetime in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsinhenry.com to learn more. So 11-4 is our score, midway through quarter number 1.
Junior Emery Collinsworth has checked in for Ellie Kelleher. They've been kind of rotating starting spots. Emery started the season, and then Kelleher started the last couple games, or has started several games.
With the steal. Walker on the drive, step through and score it. Nifty move by Walker. Walker, a 5'7" junior. So 13-4 our score, midway through the quarter.
Oh, nice drive. Oh, got it on the floor. Rick Frank with a great call there, but on the Westfield bench over there, they wish they would have just said, we'll decline the penalty, we'll decline the foul and take the bucket.
That'll be Walker that commits the foul. Her first and team number 1 as well.
Man out of bounds. Again, Franklin plays all man. Good cut by Crockett.
Another missed opportunity at the rim by Westfield. It has not been a lack of shots they have been getting.
They've had good looks at the basket. Great cut by Crockett there. Hard cut, good move. Another out of bounds play here. It's going to get Crockett the top for 3 if she wants it.
So 13-4 is our score. 3:40 and counting left to go here in the opening quarter, and that will be a foul against Franklin. And Chesney Tebby will shoot 2.
Tebney with a solid drive there. Her father, Andy Tebby, the athletic director at Westfield High School, former head basketball coach himself. I got a chance to coach against him when he was the head coach at Tipton High School. Now he's just down the road in Hamilton County.
Yoakum commits the foul. Kendall Yoakum, first time we have mentioned her name today. 5'11" junior.
Kendall, you're pinching down.
Tebby the miss. And free throw shooting, not one of her strengths. She is 5 of 15. And that's good.
That one had good backspin on it. Got it above the rim. That always helps.
So Tebby has 3 of the 5 points for Westfield.
Again, 1-2-2 with Crockett on the point.
Poked away by Crockett. Stolen away. Actually tracked down by Collinsworth for Westfield. 3rd turnover committed. Crockett drives it. Missed it again. That is 4 shots in the paint that Westfield has missed. On the drive, bucket is good. Good take by Adeline Walker. Walker, Brunson, and Traylor, all with 4 for Franklin. And the Grizzly Cubs lead is now 15-5 at the 3-minute mark of the opening quarter.
Ooh, run and jump defense in the half court, man-to-man.
Spot up 3 left side by Collinsworth is good. Collinsworth, a 38% three-point shooter. And a much-needed basket by Westfield, their 3rd made field goal.
See how long Westfield stays in the 1-2-2. It has prohibited Franklin from shooting a lot of threes, but on the other end of it, they have got some much better looks around the basket than they normally take.
Traylor going to work. Off the window, left that one short.
Nice defense by Collinsworth there.
Crockett able to rip that rebound away from Walker. On the drive, scoop, and again another miss.
Gosh, Roby's had a couple of those just off the front of the rim. Ooh. Ooh.
Long 2 does not go. And the fight for the loose ball, Collinsworth will track it down.
Okay, yeah.
2-minute mark of the quarter. It's 15-8 in favor of Franklin.
I was just going to mention Jenny Smith really wanted to slow it down right now. Alyssa Crockett, that's off her foot. Mike Daly on the call. Kelleher checks back in, replacing Chesney Tebby. Another turnover by the Rocks, either missed shots or turnovers. They've done a lot of good things, just haven't seen it on the scoreboard.
So York in for the first time. 5'9" sophomore, 4 points a game for Franklin. Drive and pitch. Clem fires the three. That does not go. Yoakum with the rebound.
Long rebounds.
Brunson goes right into the 6'2" hands of Crockett. And it's sent the other direction. Crockett. That pass, who touched it last? Franklin did, out of bounds to Westfield.
I know the idea was right to get it right in front of the rim, but she had two Grizzly Cubs there, and they do make the call.
Yep.
I thought it went off her leg.
Officials converge. And
there we go. We got it right there. Yep.
So fourth Westfield turnover.
If you're scouting Franklin, this is their split play. Just joking here, Coach Zabel calling it out. So my guess is they're going to split the post a lot of times, but good defense there. There's the split right there with the guards cross.
Walker off her hands. Both teams with 4 turnovers.
I was going to say it is a hectic pace here.
But that again is a much more comfort to Franklin. I think the good news for Franklin is that we've talked about their ability to make threes. They've made one. They still lead by 7 points.
Well, credit the 1-2-2 half-court defense played by Westfield to not give them the 3-point looks.
Good move to the basket. It won't be a made bucket, but it will be foul shots taken for Olivia Roby.
Yeah. Really good crossover dribble there.
So as Roby goes to the free throw, let's thank our friends at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Selected as the 2021 Indiana Golf Course of the Year by the Indiana Golf Course Owners Association and proud home of the Franklin High School boys and girls golf teams. Check them out online at thelegendsgolfclub.com.
Missed them both.
Roby on the season, a 61% shooter. Westfield as a team, 74% from the line. Walker step back three. Another miss, but Brunson tracks it down.
Right idea, not a sharp pass, but the right idea there.
Brunson finds a seam and misses.
Jump ball. Coach Jenny Smith trying to give Alyssa Crockett a little break here. She's sitting out the last minute, 7 seconds. She checked out on the missed free throw opportunity by the Rocks.
And that immediately affects the height of this Westfield team.
Yeah, it certainly does. Just the rabid pace, I think she wants to give her a little bit of break here, let her start clean in the second quarter.
Michaela Rudolph has the ball in her hands.
I would think they'll be real patient right now, Greg, trying to work the clock here with Crockett out.
Drive and dish, Rudolph. First possession was an elongated one for Westfield. Ever since that time, Franklin has been successful at speeding up the Rocks.
Down to 12 on the clock. Great possession, actually, for Westfield. If they take the last shot here, it's worked out well.
Trying to find a little space down low, and again, they trip to the free throw line.
Outstanding possession. Good defense by Franklin not to give up a layup here. Make them earn at the line where they're 1 for 4.
Well, 2 free throws coming up. This will be Ellie Kelleher to the line. 5'9" sophomore, 6 points a game. 82% from the free throw stripe on the season. You're looking for him there.
Olivia. Hey.
And the younger Crockett checks in, Alyssa Crockett. She's a sophomore. Should give someone a quick break here at the quarter break.
Made them both. The lead is down to 5. Walker from 60. Just misses that one a bit short. We'll step aside after 1 quarter of play. Franklin leading Westfield 15-10 in this top 10 matchup of the Girls Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you ever heard a song or jingle or a certain slogan that you just can't get out of your head and you think about it all day long? Well, here's one that's going to stick in your head for a while. Dig the gig. Come on, say it with me. Dig the gig. NLBC is offering you a gig of residential fiber optic internet for just $99 per month, where fiber optic service is available. Dig the gig right now for $99 at NLBC.com. NLBC, your life connected. Oh, and dig the gig.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Franklin leading Westfield 15-10. Today's game presented in part by Community First Bank of Indiana, a team of genuinely helpful local bankers who love supporting the Westfield community. And the bank is a proud sponsor of local athletics like the Westfield Shamrocks. Learn more at cfbindiana.com. Member FDIC. How'd I do on that, Pete? Was that good?
Outstanding. I'm familiar with that bank. It's a great bank. Glad to be a sponsor of the tournament. There's a high post screen for Brunson and a good roll. See, they had to sag down. That got the open three.
And Yoakum with the first three that didn't need the glass to go in. 8-point lead for the Grizzly Cubs.
Great possession by Franklin. Again, the pick and roll got the defense to suck in. Got Yoakum open.
Yoakum, a 35% three-point shooter on the season, averaging 6 points a game.
Coming off the bench, does a great job.
5 different players have scored so far for the Grizzly Cubs. This is Aubrey Crockett. Alyssa back on the floor as well.
There's Crockett with a cut to the baseline.
Crockett draws an immediate double. Outstanding kick out for an open three. Collinsworth.
Oh, hit the clock.
Yep. Correct. A cool play, but not legal.
No. Good possession, though. They got a great look at the basket. And Emery, as you see there, just boom, right there. Hits the 7:03 mark on the clock.
Great look from our floor camera operator and Shay Goodpaster. Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew today. That's going to be a blocking foul. Thought that was going to be potentially could have been gone either way, but they're going to say that Collinsworth was moving just enough to draw the whistle.
Yeah, I like her aggressiveness. Kind of plays like her mom. Her mom was a player at Manchester College, now Manchester University. Back in the old days, though, Manchester College. Kind of knew that area when I coached up there for a few years.
Former coach of the Squires to my right.
Double screen.
That's a moving screen.
Yoakum made a good move, just couldn't get the ball in a shooting position. No such problem for York. That does not go. And
great block out.
The block out drill as it hits the floor. Almost a travel. Crockett finds a seam. Couldn't get it to go. However, the younger of the Crockett's able to track down the rebound, but Franklin comes out of there with it. And Brunson. Shot does not go.
Let's go.
Good give and go.
Basket cut and a bump.
Yep, drew the foul. Good give and go there.
Foul is on York, and Tebby to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Let's go, Chazzer.
So as Tebby goes to the free throw line, let's thank our buddy Ryan Owens of Allstate Insurance. Basketball fans, do your insurance business with a basketball guy. Call Ryan Owens of Allstate Insurance on the south side of Indy at 317-802-1550. Or simply search for the Owens Agency on Facebook. You're always in good hands with Ryan Owens and Allstate.
Great high school basketball fan, Ryan.
Of course, he played at UT Martin in Southern Indiana after his playing days at Princeton High School. And a big part of the Sneakers for Santa event in Brownsburg. Walker flies
block.
off the floor, but Crockett at 6'2" was waiting on her. Then a reach-in foul going to be called against the Grizzly Cubs. That is their 6th, so even though Westfield has left some points in the line, they're going to keep getting a chance to get to the line for the rest of the half.
Watch Crockett come over. Just her height, and she did a good job not fouling, got all ball.
One of 2 Hamilton County products that will play at the University of Michigan next year. Kate Clark of Carmel being the other. Of course, Westfield and Carmel part of that ridiculously difficult sectional in girls basketball. All 6 teams in that group in the top 16 of the Sagarin ratings as of this week. Fishers, HSE, Zionsville, Westfield, Carmel, and Noblesville. It was Noblesville that won that group last year. Ball tipped away by Walker.
It was the right idea, a little bit higher. They did a good job being patient. Crockett sealed on that baseline just a little bit more on the pass, and it would have been there. There you take a look at Coach Josh Zabel.
Kimbrell and Buning check back in for Franklin. Yep. Crockett a deep three, certainly in her skill set. Couldn't get that to go. And Brunson.
There's a good trap opportunity there. Should be, oh, Crockett didn't shoot the gap well. Thought she had a steal on that where they picked the ball up.
Buning looking to go to work. Ball poked away. That was Remax with the defensive effort by the Shamrocks. Quickly, Rudolph will check in here for Westfield. Take a look at the defensive handiwork here.
Yep, active hands. Man-to-man out of bounds defensively for Westfield. No switches. So to make it tough to get in. And the steal.
Will track it down.
I had a feeling that just they had the ball in the deep corner there to throw it in. It's a tough place to throw it in.
And Franklin gets her right back. Both teams now 5 turnovers.
It's so weird just seeing 5 Grizzlies on around the three-point line. No one cutting to the basket. And there's a reason why they have 5 out there.
Traylor makes the 4th Franklin three. Won by 4 different players. Traylor a 38% shooter. And another steal by Clem.
Back-to-back turnovers. Westfield, with this high-scoring team Franklin has, luckily, they're in the giving season. It is the holiday season. Gives it right back on the turnover and the travel.
Kelleher will check back in for Westfield.
It is 32 minutes of pressure by Franklin. If you can take advantage of it, get some layups. And Westfield's had some opportunities there in the first quarter. They've missed a lot of bunnies. That first quarter, they only were 3 for 10 from the field, most of them around the basket.
Crockett just 1 field goal so far. Kelleher could not connect. Again, that hits the basket support.
Crockett.
So Westfield team, 31% from three-point range. They make just under 5 a game. So far, they've connected on 1.
Yeah. Crockett got the first basket of the contest to put Westfield up 2-zip. She's not had very many good looks since. Credit Franklin's defense.
And despite the fact that every Franklin player has given up about 2 or 3 inches guarding Crockett, but that's what Crockett can do. Plays the passing lane, fight for the loose ball. Eventually, Traylor comes out of there with it. Buning, Brunson, and they were too unselfish that time with the Grizzly Cubs.
Right on, partner. Too many passes.
Drive and score. Ellie Kelleher had a coaching buddy of mine who liked to say you can't get closer than close about plays like that. Kimbrell has been turning down those three-point looks, despite the fact she's a 44% three-point shooter.
Great block out again by Westfield.
Traylor does not. And eventually Tebby out of there with it for the Shamrocks.
Long shots, long rebounds. It's hard to block out. Westfield's done a pretty good job on those long shots. Okay, here comes the back screen again. Brunson helps and then rotates back.
Spot up 3 left side, got it. Second made, triple. That's Tebby. She's got 7. She only averages 5 a game, but she brings the Rocks back within 5.
Well, they're just so heavily guarding Crockett, giving a lot of help. That's going to give Westfield players some open looks.
Buning with the drive to the basket. It's been about 20 years since I've said that. Had a chance to call her father's games at Franklin College. Loved watching Paul play. Aaron with 5, 7-point lead for the Grizzly Cubs.
Westfield not getting a lot of good, clean looks right now, though, in this offense. Again, the pressure, they wear you down to finally get the ball across the 10-second line. Then you've got to get in your offense.
Nice drive by Tebby, and this time it goes.
Good left hand by Chelsea.
Again, a lot of those buckets are of similar style or misses in the first quarter. We finally got that to go. So Tebby with 9 of the Westfield 18.
This is a big stop here because Westfield's right back in it, only down 5 on those last 2 possessions.
Buning off the window, too strong. There's Brunson.
Oh.
Blocked by Crockett. And eventually out of bounds off a Shamrock player.
That is either the second or third block shot by Crockett. She's had a lot of deflections. What I like about her, just because she's 6'2" doesn't mean that she's a good defensive player. She plays with her arms up high and out a lot, and that really makes that Westfield defense effective.
Under 2 minutes to go before halftime. Yoakum gets downhill, and good look that wouldn't fall. But Buning collects the loose change and puts it up and in. Buning averages 8. The sophomore's got 7. And this leads to kind of hovering between 5 and 8 now for most of this quarter.
Good job by Collinsworth breaking the press by herself, basically.
Let me focus on what Franklin can do offensively. They're really good defensively as well. Opponents averaging 38 points a game against them this season.
Block is open. Ball side block's open if Westfield can get someone to cut there.
Deep three. No. Yoakum had inside position, but couldn't track down the loose ball.
Yep.
Quickly, Tebby will check back in for Westfield. This has been largely a limited foul type of game. There's been all of 8 fouls called so far in this half.
Now, I tell you, both teams playing with arms out, moving their feet a lot. Rapid play, but so far it's been a really clean first half, as you just referenced to, foul-wise. Flare screen.
It's been fast, but not frenetic or frenzied.
Yeah, Crockett should score here. It's going to go to her left.
Oh, good look that wouldn't fall. Again, Westfield's down by 7, and Crockett has just 2. That's not a bad sign for Westfield. Because only Roby is the only other double-digit scorer for the Shamrocks, and that pass was not touched by the Westfield defender. That is a Franklin giveaway, unofficially their 8th.
I tell you, they're playing great defense in the half court, and they've stopped the three-point shots. You know, they've mixed it up. They went 1-2-2 full court or half court for a while defensively. Now they're back to man. And again, Westfield's in the bonus if they can draw a foul here. They've not converted as well as they'd like to from the line, though.
Crockett running the point this time for Westfield, and knew she was in a tough spot and immediately asks for a timeout.
Good call. Good call. You want to get that last shot here, or at least get a layup.
So second 30 taken by the Shamrocks, presented by Henry County, Indiana. Basketball is center court at Henry County. Experience iconic sites like the Hoosier Gym, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and this building right here, Indiana's largest high school field house, the largest high school field house in the world. You can also discover enriching, entertaining, and recreational experiences throughout the community. Make memories that last a lifetime in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to learn more.
Take a look at some breaks here, and you see great defense again by Crockett. That's one of her 2 blocks. And just opportunistic here, Franklin getting a basket.
Let's see if Westfield can hang on to it for the final 23 seconds of the half. And just because doing that is awfully difficult against this Franklin group.
Okay. Backdoor. Got to throw it up. She did. Got it.
Crockett creates some space, draws the foul on Buning.
The challenge is trying to get it over the defender's arms, then get it over the defender's arms of Crockett. And she did a good job. That was Jenna Collinsworth on the pass. Or Jenna Collinsworth, sorry. Emery Collinsworth on the pass there.
So as Crockett goes to the line, she is a 90% free throw shooter on the season and makes that one. Let's once again thank our friends at Community First Bank. Here's a quote from a Community First Bank customer. Community First Bank is a great bank with friendly staff. They're a positive influence within our community, and they treat customers of their bank like friends and family. Get to know more of them online at cfbindiana.com. Member FDIC. Crockett makes them both, and it's back to a 5-point game. Clock is on your screen. Brunson lets fire. 3 on time and on target. Her second made 3 of the half. 5th in total for the Grizzly Cubs, and they'll push the lead back to 8 going to halftime. And with that bucket, Brunson has topped 1,000 points for her career at Franklin Community High School.
How cool is that?
28-20 is our score at the break. Number 2 Franklin leading number 8 Westfield. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with a very special guest. You're watching the 2021 Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network. McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you
oh,
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lynn's way.
That is
Oh!
Wrestler!
Whoa!
At Ball State University, our promise is simple: to empower the success of our students. Our students benefit from immersive learning, innovative academic programs, and state-of-the-art facilities. Ball State offers a distinctive yet affordable educational experience and the ideal environment to prepare for a fulfilling career and a meaningful life. We inspire Cardinals to transform their communities, to revolutionize their industries, and to make a difference. We fly. Are you ready to fly?
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score! Welcome back to the finest high school field house in the world here at Newcastle High School. Game 1 of 4 today on the ISC Sports Network for the Raymond James Girls Hall of Fame Classic. And in game number 1, Franklin leading Westfield by a score of 28-20. Pete Smith will rejoin in a matter of moments, but at halftime of each game over the next 2 days, a special guest will be joining us. And when it comes to basketball in this state and girls basketball in the state, they don't get much more special than the leading player on the first girls basketball state championship team in Warsaw from back in 1976. Judy Warren joining us, part of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. It is always good to see you. How are you?
I am great. It was a special time. I'm not real sure how special I am, but it was a special time back then, and it still is today.
You were then, and there still are
Thank you.
today at this point in time. What is it like to be here every year for this celebration of high school basketball?
It's amazing to see how much it has grown and the abilities of these girls and the defense that they're playing today. Both teams are really going after the ball and playing good, hard defense in the half court and putting a lot of pressure on full court. They just have really been doing a great job.
I know that you were interviewed as part of a great special that the IHSA has put together. This year is the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and to show the growth of girls sports in this state, the Indiana High School Girls State Tournament isn't even 50 years old yet, to kind of show the impact that Title IX has had. Just your thoughts on the growth we have seen of high school girls athletics over the decades here in the state of Indiana.
It is getting much, much better. Yeah. I mean, they have beautiful uniforms that we didn't have back in the day. They're riding the buses to the games. They've got athletic trainers here at the games for them, and the coaches don't have to do everything. They were keeping stats. They were coaching the teams. They were washing any uniforms that you might have had. They, had to be the athletic trainer as well. So it has really come a long way. To say we're equal, I hope we never will be, but I love the opportunity that the girls are getting, and it's getting better and better every year.
And again, even though Judy said it, I wanted to kind of emphasize some of the things she said sounded remarkably basic, but back in the mid-'70s and for years after that, that wasn't always the case everywhere that you went. So it gives you an idea of just how much it has grown in multiple sports, let alone basketball. Talk about the role you play with the Basketball Hall of Fame these days.
I'm a member of the board and on the women's committee.
Yep.
It's a little different than the men's. We need a lot more women to get involved in the Hall of Fame. So if you're a basketball enthusiast and a woman, we'd love to have you on our committee, but we do a little bit of everything. We have golf outing in the summer. We have the Classic going on here, and those are two of our big fundraisers, but yet we do a lot in promoting and scholarships and getting around to see games and players, and the Hall of Fame does a terrific job with all of the volunteers and making that place beautiful. And if you haven't, again, are a basketball enthusiast and haven't been to the Hall of Fame, I encourage you because it is remarkable. And everybody who goes their first time always comes back.
And again, the banquets were postponed from this past spring. We had our first men's and women's banquets in 2.5 years. The men's banquet was on October the 9th. The women's banquet was October the 30th. We'll go back to our usual dates this year. Men's banquet, want to say Wednesday, March 23rd. Women's banquet coming up at the end of April, correct?
End of April. I believe it's April 29th. It's the last Saturday of April, and we'll be glad to get back on that date, but it's been a quick turnover, and we've got a lot of work to do to get ready for that.
We'll let you get to it, Judy. It is always good to see you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here.
Of course. Again, Judy Warren, one of the legends of Indiana high school girls basketball, joining us here courtside. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, Pete Smith rejoins us. Franklin leads Westfield 28-20 as you're watching the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport. Look at that play.
The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
At Forum Credit Union, we help members plan for life's major milestones. Our team of wealth advisors work with members at every stage, from changing jobs and 401ks to creating wealth plans for future generations. Learn more at forumcu.com. At Forum Credit Union, our small business professionals work with local companies to help them prosper. We know that running a small business is more than a full-time job, and our services give you the guidance and support your business needs. Visit forumcu.com to see how.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
At Ball State University, we welcome you as a learning partner from day one. Our students bring creativity and determination to each aspect of the learning experience, from the classroom to the community. At Ball State, we help students turn an emerging passion into an enduring purpose. Our beautiful campus, welcoming environment, immersive learning, and collaborative culture provide the ideal place for you to pursue your journey to a fulfilling career and a meaningful life. We fly. Are you ready to fly?
Have you ever heard a song or jingle or a certain slogan that you just can't get out of your head and you think about it all day long? Well, here's one that's going to stick in your head for a while. Dig the gig. Come on, say it with me. Dig the gig. NLBC is offering you a gig of residential fiber optic internet for just $99 per month, where fiber optic service is available. Dig the gig right now for $99 at NLBC.com. NLBC, your life connected. Oh, and dig the gig.
28-20 is our score at the break. Franklin leading Westfield. Halftime of game number 1 of the 2021 Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. Today's broadcast on the ISC Sports Network. Presented in part by the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Selected as the 2021 Indiana Golf Course of the Year by the Indiana Golf Course Owners Association. And proud home of the Franklin High School boys and girls golf teams. Check them out online, thelegendsgolfclub.com. Greg Rakestraw, Pete Smith with you. Pete, your overall impressions on half number 1.
Well, you know, it didn't play out like I thought it would. Not as many three-point shots, quite frankly, by Franklin. They're 5 of 10 from 3, but overall they're 11 from 28 from the field. They've got 28 shots up. You know, they lead the rebounding battle by 7, Greg, And that's been a big key, I think, right now. Both teams with a lot of turnovers, 8 for Franklin, 7 for Westfield. The big key right now, I think, trying to get Alyssa Crockett untracked here. I mean, she's got 4 points. She's 1 of 6 from the field. She's had some good looks. And as you see right there, see the coaching staff saying, get a hand up on her. She's 6'2". She's a Miss Basketball candidate. And I'd look for her to bounce back and have a much better second half. That's the only way Westfield's going to get back in it, because she is the focal point of their offense.
So it will be Westfield basketball to start quarter number 3. And this is game 1 of 2. Washington and South Bend, Washington. Our next game up. South Bend, Washington, number 1 in the 3A ranks. The Hatchets rated in the 3A top 10 as well.
Backdoor, not there.
Using a defensive assignment on Crockett. Saw that play used late in the first half by Westfield.
And it drew a foul that time when they ran it. It was the last play they ran and the first play they ran to start the third quarter.
It's a Westfield team that averages 55 points a game. Nice little step through. And
oh, gosh.
Again, there have been a lot of shots like that have looked down and spun off the rim. Roby has yet to score. Again, she averages just over 10 points a game.
She's had 3 good looks now. She's 0 for 3, as you just alluded to. Not scored yet.
Clem able to track that down.
Again, if you just joined us, Westfield started out the game in a 1-2-2 half-court defense. They played man since the second quarter, all man-to-man.
Trailer. Buning.
Again, this has been a good defensive effort by Westfield, even though they've given up 28. This is a team that averages over 70 points a game. Uh-oh, miscommunication there. She had a little bit of a gap. That's how she got open.
Kimbrell lets fire. She was reluctant to do so in the first half. Misses that one. And Kimbrell averages 6 points a game and is a 44% three-point shooter. Roby able to track that down in time. Loser this game plays at 6 o'clock tonight in the consolation game. Championship game in the neighborhood of 8 o'clock. Crockett. Ball was stripped by a Franklin player. So we're scoreless through the first 96 seconds of the half.
I'm sorry, Greg. When she touches the ball, they are just caving in on her. Right there, that's a usual play that gets her a pretty good look. And 2 to 3 Franklin players there on her as soon as she got it. There's
Crockett.
a good look.
Yep, her second field goal. Did a great job of squaring to the basket. And Brunson and Buting play a game of you got it. 9th Franklin turnover.
I will tell you, Westfield's press has been very effective when they get into it. The problem is they've not gotten into it very much because they've only had 6 field goals until that last one by Crockett.
It's a Franklin team that's been held to under 50 points just twice all season. Spot up 3 is an air ball. Kelleher tracks down the rebound. Crockett from 17 barely grazes the iron. Fight for the loose ball, and arrow will point the other direction. By the way, that team that held Franklin to under 50 points was the same team, Center Grove, in the 2 meetings that those 2 Johnson County and sectional rivals have had.
And ironically, that's where Coach Josh Sable used to be the head coach or the assistant coach for a number of years when Sean Sanders was the head coach at Center Grove. Now it's Kevin Stuckmeyer, former Plymouth Pilgrim.
Brunson in a tight spot and
Good
ripped
steal.
away.
Yep.
It'll be a jump ball. It's going to be Westfield ball anyway, but it does slow the potential fast break opportunity.
Yep. Take a look now. See how quick. Okay, we take it. There's the trap. And it's a jump ball. It was in 4 hands at the time. I know offensively you'd like to say Westfield should have had an opportunity to have a fast break there.
This Westfield team has won 9 consecutive games. The runner is up and good by Tebby. Tebby with 11. And a 30-second timeout is taken by Coach Sable of Franklin. Today's game presented in part by Ball State. Listen to these numbers. Ball State has a 95% placement rate. Ball State has a 16-to-1 student-faculty rate, and 80% of Ball State students can qualify for financial assistance. Indeed, we fly at Ball State.
You see some of the Westfield crowd here. Morning crowd. I'd say Franklin have a little bit more. Nice following by the Grizzly Cubs from Johnson County.
Of course, given the restrictions we had to deal with a year ago in terms of crowds here, you do see much more of crowds at these games. I would expect the Washington Hatchets will bring a
healthy
following with them.
Yes, they will.
From southwestern Indiana.
Okay, back to just man-to-man. I didn't know if they go full court after that or not. Defensively, I'm talking about Westfield. And there's that trap again that's played a lot of havoc, and
two officials will converge here as both gentlemen had hands up simultaneously.
I like the call. I like the call. It was a jump ball before, and then after the jump, then, okay, man, our camera's on it all the time. There was the jump ball right there, and then I see where they called the foul, the second part of it, but the jump had already taken place. Good call.
Trailer.
Oh, tough drive.
On the runner. But tracks it down and rattles it home.
Yeah.
Trailer with 9.
Nice possession. And again, there's the full court pressure. Franklin's known for that after baskets. They'll fall back man-to-man after the trap.
Slip by Tebby to Roby. Remax, tough shots.
Their first bucket of the game, and maybe that'll get Haley going here.
5'10 senior. 4 of the top 5 scores with this Westfield team are seniors, including Crockett. And that will be a reach-in foul against Kelleher. And there were just 2 fouls whistled against Westfield in the opening half. So foul trouble not an issue. Kiki Lovelace will check in for Westfield. 6-foot sophomore. Averages less than a point a game.
Well defended, moving screen too. Well defended by Westfield. You could hear their coaches had it called out over here on the sidelines, and it's going to be a moving screen on Buning. Buning, I think.
So her second foul.
Yep.
And turnovers piling up for Franklin. That's 11.
Westfield doing a nice job breaking the full court pressure. Now Franklin will play half court man.
A chance to make it a 1-possession game with a score here.
Double screen at the top, but fired before Crockett got a chance to come off the screen. Shot taken by Olivia Roby.
She's a 40% three-point shooter. Again, she has struggled to score today. Trailer turns down the layup. Buning misses the 3, but again, that is how Franklin plays.
Yeah.
Trailer, not that time. Crockett, and that's going to be a foul on Buning, her 3rd, and that's big because Buning has drawn the primary defensive assignment so far on Crockett.
And she's done a very good job. But 2 quick fouls here. Take a look, just a short shot there, and got enough of the wrist on the bottom half to draw the foul.
Full court pickup by the Grizzly Cubs.
Couple changes in the Westfield lineup here during the dead ball. Collinsworth back in.
Here comes the half-court trap.
Oh, weak side was open.
Collinsworth from 18. Not that time.
Didn't quite get her feet set because she was moving back away. Loose ball is going to be a rebound opportunity, and Franklin's going to get it.
Crockett was standing on the baseline when she touched it.
Okay, here's the 1-2-2, Greg, that they played to start the game. Let's see if it's effective again here. Weak side's wide open. They get a layup out of it. Yep.
Yoakum. Her second field goal. She's got 5.
Good look. 3 on numbers, no numbers right now, so they'll pull it back out. Good job breaking the press, though. Crockett's got the whole side of the floor to herself.
Left hand. Wouldn't go, but the rebound is there. So Crockett with 8. And she was 1 for 6 in the first half. She's got 2 buckets here in half number 2. And back
Shamrocks
to a 4-point game.
Man-to-man deep. Whoa, that's a deep one. That's a big one.
That's the longest distance we have seen on a 3 today by Kimbrell.
Yep, reach in. Brunson.
So Trailer picks up the foul.
Trailer. Boy, she's a solid player. Really enjoy watching her play, both ends of the floor.
Keep her there. Keep her there.
Crockett in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Under 3 minutes to play here in quarter number 3.
Pick and pop for her, but Franklin's defense all over right now. Kendra Yoakum gets the call now with Buning with 3 fouls.
Ball knocked away, taken away.
Yep.
Little contact there, but frankly, that's been allowed to go in both directions today.
Consistent, yep, consistently called, absolutely. And again, if you're watching, there's no post players for Franklin. They like to hang around that three-point line and just take good opportunities, good lead pass.
And that'll be a foul.
Yep.
Clem commits the foul. It's on the floor. 4th foul against the Grizzly Cubs of the half. We'll actually call that against Walker. Her 2nd. Brunson and York will check back in. And I stand corrected. That's the 3rd foul on Walker. So Walker and Buning each with 3 for Franklin.
Good cut.
Basket dive by Crockett.
Yeah.
Too easy if you're a Franklin fan, and all of a sudden, it's a 1-score game at 32-30.
They're so tight on that out-of-bounds play. Crockett's got a couple good looks today, Greg, from that out-of-bounds set.
Westfield has outscored Franklin 10-4 here in the quarter.
Isolation screen for York at the top, a pick and roll.
Clem the 3. Not that tight. And Franklin has not made a 3 since halftime. And they average attempting nearly 29 a game. Not on that clip tonight. They make about 10. They've made 5 so far. But what Franklin continues to do is play outstanding defense.
Both teams, Greg, are playing great half-court defense. They are. Now, they've both had a lot of turnovers, as we referred to during the game, but need to be a little bit better fundamental pass there, a bounce pass instead of an air pass to start the offense, and that's going to be a turnover. I thought you were going to the block, but she didn't.
Just a miscommunication. So a chance to tie or take the lead for Westfield. Westfield scored the first bucket of the game.
That's how versatile Crockett is, but she's going to get a 5-second violation. Almost. That was close. The outer official almost had her at 5, but.
And that is the 4th foul on Walker.
Wow. Big swing right there.
So checking back in, Remax as well as Rudolph for Westfield. Trailer will come in for Walker. So Walker now will sit probably till about the midway point of the 4th quarter with those 4 fouls. Walker's got 4 points today. And Franklin pushed the lead to about 9 in the first quarter, and just kind of they've kept Franklin or kept Westfield at bay since that time. Clem got a hand on that. Everything contested at the half court.
Yep, you nailed it, partner. Everything's been contested at both ends. Been a great defensive battle, and when shots are made, they're earned. They are earned. Got to get it in. Collinsworth
ties it up. Collinsworth with 5 off the bench.
Nice backdoor cut by Emery when the overplay was happening by the Grizzly Cubs.
And again, to illustrate how the prowess that Westfield has shown defensively, Franklin averages 70 a game. They're sitting on 32. That'll be a hand check foul on Rudolph.
Yeah, good drive by Rudolph, being a good drive that time. Let's take a look at the replay. There's the backdoor cut and the overplay. Trailer just overplaying Collinsworth. At the other end, Trailer just drew a foul.
Brunson finds Yoakum.
Too deep, way too deep.
But missed it. And now Westfield can take the lead.
Great look for Yoakum, couldn't convert.
Roby avoids the trap.
We're down to 25 seconds. Let's see if Westfield takes the last shot or if they're going to just try to get a good one and get back on defense.
They have basically held for the last, close to the last look.
Started too far high.
First 3 quarters.
That was a great backdoor idea, but they started too high and it caused a turnover.
Brunson picks the pocket. Trailer all the way down. Nobody stops the ball, but the rim continues to play fantastic defense against Franklin. Out of bounds to Westfield.
Dead ball rebounds. Westfield's got several here this 3rd quarter, which is helping. We're down to 5.
Crockett. Roby for the lead.
Oh, got it! Nice shot. She turned to look at her bench, and her eyes were wide open like, wow, I made that. 5 in the quarter for Olivia Roby.
First made 3 for Roby today, and Westfield trying to knock off the number 2 team in the state, and a team in Franklin enters unbeaten at 16-0.
Look at her teammates.
We'll take this quick timeout. Back with more in a moment. 35-32 our score on the ISC Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello. Did it again.
Hello!
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to
Whoa,
Mentor and all
touchdown.
kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello.
There we go. Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Back at the greatest high school field house in the world, thanks to our friends at Henry County Economic Development. Basketball is center court in Henry County, Indiana. Experience iconic sites like the Hoosier Gym, Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and the world's largest high school field house. You can also discover enriching, entertaining, recreational experiences throughout the community. Make memories that last a lifetime in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to learn more.
Backdoor play to start the third quarter or fourth quarter was defended well by Franklin.
Runner does not go. The left hand by Crockett.
That's a tough shot. I know she makes them, but that's a tough shot.
Get up, Chesney! Chesney, active hands!
So Franklin just 4 points in the third quarter. Nice drive by Kimbrell, but maybe it's that end of the floor.
Boy. Yeah, I agree that they've been short at that end of the floor for some reason. Maybe the rim's a little bit higher. Not really, just kidding.
Poked away by Traylor. And then Traylor going to get called for the bump.
I've been waiting for that because Traylor's really been aggressive out front where the officials can see the hand checks and the bumps. Good call.
6th team foul called against Franklin. So the next one sends Westfield to the penalty. Westfield 6 of 10 from the line today.
Isolation for Crockett on the block if they see her. A little bit too high. Didn't go for it here.
Ooh. Step back for Remax, the 3. Got it.
Wow, nice possession. Nice possession by Haley Remax. And boy, Franklin just is out of sorts now. Both ends right now.
So back-to-back threes, and that foul
Yep.
potentially saved a turnover for Franklin. Remax picks it up.
She steps back, she refuses a screen by Crockett. Franklin thought she was going to make the cut, and that's how she got wide open.
It is now 18-4 since halftime in favor of Westfield.
Man defense. It's going to be a roll to the center. There's a 3 opportunity. Nothing open. Well defended by Westfield.
Ball poked away.
Stay out, Chesney, stay out!
And yet Franklin just nothing in the half court. Just a frustrated team. Only 4 points here as we start the fourth quarter. 4 points in the second half for the Grizzly Cubs.
Little zone look here. And that'll be a foul. Just the 4th team foul. The only 6th called of the game. Remax picks up back-to-back fouls. The length of Westfield starting to bother Franklin.
A little bit, yeah, I agree. Franklin with a dominant performance in the first half on the boards, 19-11.
5-second call. Remember 11 or 13 committed, I should say, for the Grizzly Cubs. Franklin 2 of 11 shooting the basketball in quarter number 3.
Good job, Westfield, handling the pressure. Overall, they've done a good job. They have 10 turnovers in the contest, but most of them were in that first and early second quarter.
Crockett on the drive. Stumbled on the way there.
Yeah, she was hoping to get bailed out. Again, double teamed by Franklin every time she touches it.
Union will check back in at the next stoppage in play for Franklin.
Good pick and roll by the
Great
Franklin.
recovery by Remax. York down at the other end. Let's hope she's all right. Yep, she's struggling to get up. Shot does not go. Fight for the loose ball. Crockett does not get the roll. And now, you can see that York is back up and battling.
Yeah.
She's going to hobble out as Buning will replace her. And out of that, as Franklin really was kind of playing defense with 4.5 players, they do not give up a bucket there.
Yeah, they got a break there.
Kelleher will check back in. Collinsworth out. Rudolph will check back in. And they're going to give Alyssa Crockett what I would assume would be a very brief break. I think she sat for about 45 seconds in the first quarter.
Big possession here as Franklin tries to get off the schneid and get a bucket.
They have not made a three this half to worry about a 5-second call. Clem did just enough to break the count.
And as you're watching, if they're not shooting threes and making them, it's tough for Franklin to score because they are playing around that perimeter, just a pick and roll sometimes.
Kimbrell pull from 15.
Yeah,
that's going to be a foul.
Yeah.
Remax got some ball, but got a lot of body too, and Scarlett Kimbrell will go to the free throw line, which is rare. She is 4 of 4 from the stripe this season. Want to thank our friends at Quack Daddy Donuts. Their donuts are fresh, made to order. Cake donuts with 6 icings and 17 toppings to choose from. Quack Daddy has locations in both Pendleton and Westfield. And if you're interested in opening your own franchise location, reach out to Andy at QDDWestfield@gmail.com.
And you tell me where they're at because I love them. Those are great donuts.
Kimbrell makes them both. Timeout taken by Franklin. So timeout taken by the Grizzly Cubs. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Let's also thank our friends at the National Scouting Report. Thanks to Leanne Bird and NSR. Leanne works directly with college coaches on a daily basis to assist in the recruiting process. You've only got one chance to get recruited. Make the most of it by contacting Leanne Bird and her team of local scouts at 217-372-7382 or email lbird@nsr-inc.com. All right, what's going to change for the Grizzly Cubs as they now trail by 4, Coach?
Yeah, there was a nice backdoor that really got Westfield going. And then the second half, that was the three-pointer that Haley Remax made. And it's been all Westfield this second half, and that was a big one there, three-pointer. Beautiful shot there by Olivia Roby.
Each team with a buzzer-beating 3. Brunson had one before halftime. Now Roby got that one to end quarter number 3. Again, Franklin led for almost the entirety of the first half and well into the third quarter. By the way, that timeout taken by Franklin has allowed Alyssa Crockett to come right back in the game for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, that was an added bonus there for the Shamrocks.
Quick look at Josh Sable. Spent 2 years at Decatur Central before taking the job at Franklin. And again, their sectional title last year, first in 13 years for Franklin.
Graduate of Central Michigan University, a Michigan native. Made the right choice, came to the Hoosier State, but I'm a little prejudiced.
Franklin playing in this event for the first time in 22 years. They're the
Ooh,
runners-up in the Hall of Fame Classic in '99.
Picked it up just before the 5-second call.
Westfield will have the ball at half court. See timeouts on your screen. Both teams have 3 remaining for the final 4:46.
There's good hands there. I tell you, Olivia Traylor really plays well with her hands. She's gotten away with a lot of quick hands and steals today. That would have been her 4th steal in the contest. Oh, good double team.
Brunson with the takeaway.
Real good double team by Franklin.
And again, Brunson can lead the break. Buning lets it fly. That one's going to be short. And again, Franklin still 0 for three-point range this half.
So uncharacteristic. Credit Westfield, just really good half-court defense. Now it's Westfield's opportunity to stretch this margin out. 6 would be their largest lead if they could get there. 7 would be even bigger, obviously, with a 3.
Crockett gets downhill, and what's the call going to be? Jump ball? Yeah, either way, it's Franklin ball.
Yeah.
The whistle prevents a potential layup, but still a turnover.
Franklin very quick, Greg. I mean, every time she makes a drive, 2 players converge on her, almost being triple teamed, and it's a little bit frustrating for Crockett because she doesn't see that in her normal games. And Westfield now in a 2-3 zone. You mentioned a possession earlier, 2 possessions earlier. They went to a zone. Usually you would think that would be right up Franklin's alley, but they've really done a good job jumping out in the passing lanes and not giving them open looks on three-point chances.
Traylor finds a window and scores.
That's what you're going to get with a zone, is you're going to get some driving opportunities, and that time they took advantage of it.
Traylor with 11, first Franklin player in double figures, back to a 2-point game.
But notice Franklin's not, their press isn't affecting them. Early in the game it really did, but it's like they've been so stagnant on offense, they forgot to get in the press.
So Clem going to be called for the reach-in foul. 1 plus the bonus coming up here. So foul on Clem will be her second. Free throws for Tebby. She's 2 of 4 from the line, but good looking for him there and knocked that one home.
That was a big one there. As you said, she's not an outstanding free throw shooter. Better from the field almost than from the free throw line.
1 of 2. She's split her free throw tries all 3 trips so far today. 3-point game. And again, 5 out and facing the basket.
Yeah, Westfield back to man after that possession in zone.
Brunson tries to walk the tightrope. Foul, just the 6th on Westfield. No free throws yet. Collinsworth picks up the whistle.
But it will be on the next one. Both teams will now be in the bonus as the ball is thrown in bounds.
And Franklin has shot 4 free throws today. That's not uncommon for them because of how much of a jump shooting team they are.
Right.
Ewing turns down a potential shot to tie.
Really good defense by Westfield, just staying in front of the ball very well.
And it's a Westfield team that beat Noblesville. That caught a lot of folks' attention.
Other than that high pick and roll, it's just 5 out.
Yep. It is space, drive, and kick.
Franklin does not need to be in a hurry. There's still 2.5 minutes to go. Don't take a bad shot's not worth it right now. Be patient and get
Brunson.
a layup if they can, or a 3.
Finds a window to attack, and Brunson scores. Brunson with 9, back to a 1-point game. After what was an 18-4 run, now 6-1 in favor of Franklin.
Westfield's got to be careful dribbling down to that corner because Franklin has trapped them several times during the contest. They want to break the press but not take it down to that deep corner.
This game got late early. We're down to 2:05 left to play in it.
15-4, third quarter by Westfield. Good back pick.
Defender flies by. Traylor got her on the arm. Third foul on Traylor. And 2 free throws coming up for Olivia Roby. Today's game on ISC presented in part by the Legends Golf Club of Indiana. Legends Golf Club, of course, located in Franklin, selected as the 2021 Indiana Golf Course of the Year by the Indiana Golf Course Owners Association, and proud home of the Franklin High School boys and girls golf teams. Check them out online at thelegendsgolfclub.com. One for 2 for Roby. Her first make from the free throw line today. 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. And you know that Franklin is as likely to attempt the ladder, even if they've not been falling this half.
Oh, she's got it lane to the basket. Traylor.
And lost it on the way up.
Oh,
off her leg.
Tough break. I think her eyes got so big she saw that. She saw that lane to the basket. Good hands by Westfield off her leg. Good job of breaking that full court pressure by Westfield.
With 90 seconds, what are you running here if you're Westfield? What are you doing?
You're being patient. You just want to draw a foul. And Coach, that's a good question. Let's jump in her huddle here as I talk about Jenny Smith, the outstanding coach for Westfield.
So Westfield takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here, even though it is a full timeout. Let's thank our friends in Henry County, Indiana, where we're broadcasting from today. Folks, you can experience iconic sites like the Hoosier Gym, Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and the world's largest high school field house. You can also discover enriching, entertaining, and recreational experiences throughout the community. Make memories that last a lifetime in Henry County, Indiana. Visit hoopsandhenry.com to learn more.
So right now you see in that huddle, Josh Sabo is showing if they go to that 1-2-2 half-court defense, here's where the openings are. Meanwhile, Westfield on offense here, you asked me what they're going to probably run right now with minute 27. They're up 2. They're in the 1-and-1. They'll take a layup. They'll take probably a good mid-range shot, but they got to get the ball into Crockett's hands. She's an outstanding free throw shooter.
You are such a good team in terms of Franklin, in terms of forcing turnovers and trapping against most folks you play. How much does that factor into, okay, we're going to play defense for 30 seconds before we foul, or things of that nature?
I think they're going to be the aggressor and come out and trap very quickly here. That's what I would, knowing what they've tried to do this year, how successful. They've only been 4 of their 16 games, they have trailed in the fourth quarter and come back to win. This would be the 5th time this year if they can. And they're going to play a 1-2-2 half-court trap, it looks like. As we saw we saw them on the whiteboard here. They're going to trap as soon as they can once they bring it across the 10-second line.
Traylor applying pressure.
Okay, that's a bad place to pick it up.
Tabby.
Didn't have a choice.
And a timeout called by Westfield. Again, avoiding the potential disastrous turnover. Down to 1 timeout left for the Shamrocks. Again, we'll keep it right here with 1:16 left to play in the game. Thanks to our friends at Community First Bank of Indiana. They're a team of genuinely helpful local bankers who love supporting the Westfield community. And the bank is a proud supporter of local athletics. Learn more at cfbindiana.com. Community First Bank, member FDIC. And our next game will follow approximately 25 minutes or so after this one between Washington and South Bend, Washington. There you see some Hatchet fans on your screen. Or South Bend, Washington, the defending 3A runners-up, having lost to Silver Creek in the state championship game back in February. But this one, by no means concluded yet. 40-38 Shamrocks with $1:16 left to go.
And again, I'm sure Jenny Smith, the coach at Westfield, is talking right now about how to handle those traps. When you get trapped, you want 3 outlets coming to the ball. You want someone at the basket for a lob pass if you need it, but you need 3 players coming to the basketball and helping their teammate out. Franklin's going to be in man on the inbounds pass, looking for a steal. And let's see if they drop back then into the trap again or not. But they're in man-to-man. And they are going to run and jump right now. There's the run and jump right there defensively. Here we go. And a turnover. Here come the Grizzly Cubs.
It's Buning to the bucket. Left it short. Fight for the loose ball. Brunson.
Good block.
Altered by Crockett. Yep. The 3rd time's the charm. Tied at 40. Brunson's got 11.
Yeah, the run and jump out of the man-to-man defense caused that turnover.
I'm not sure if you change how you guard this now that you're tied if you're Franklin. Playing that style is what they do.
They're going to stay in the man. Again, both teams in the 1-and-1. Next foul, both teams shoot. Let's see what Westfield's going to run it down to. They have 1 timeout, as you just mentioned. There's a lob pass, not there. Crockett's got to move. Back cut by her. I would think they want to get it in Crockett's hands, but some other players have really stepped up this game, including Roby, who hit the big 3 at the end of the 3rd quarter.
No need to force a 3 if you're Westfield.
Yeah, they want a timeout. They just haven't got the officials' attention yet. Nope, they're not going to. I thought they were talking about it. They're going to run it down.
Crockett.
2 players on her.
There's a look from the elbow. Almost banked it in. Crockett tracks it down. Some contact.
Oh, wow.
Missed the shot. It will be a last-second heave that will not go, and we will play some free basketball here in game number 1 of the Hall of Fame Classic. Let's step aside. We'll come back and put 4 minutes on the board. Overtime in Newcastle as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you ever heard a song or jingle or a certain slogan that you just can't get out of your head and you think about it all day long? Well, here's one that's going to stick in your head for a while. Dig the gig. Come on, say it with me. Dig the gig. NLBC is offering you a gig of residential fiber optic internet for just $99 per month, where fiber optic service is available. Dig the gig right now for $99 at NLBC.com. NLBC, your life connected. Oh, and dig the gig.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score.
4 games in one day. Let's play 4 games in at least 4 minutes extra. Overtime in an event like this, when teams are so good, it's not surprising. Franklin ain't able to kind of find the rhythm offensively, but did just enough to win it. And let's talk about this mad scramble at the end.
Well, there you saw the best player on the floor, Crockett, getting an opportunity. Franklin wanted to charge on her drive, didn't get it. Westfield wanted to foul on the shot, on her putback, didn't get it. And we go to overtime. 2 of the top 10 teams in the state in Class 4A. Great game.
Both teams will add a timeout, so 4 for Franklin, 2 for Westfield. Again, both teams still on the double bonus, and if we have a possession arrow, it'll go to Franklin because Westfield has the opening possession of the overtime.
Low-scoring fourth quarter, 8-5. Franklin won it on the board and tied it up.
Clem got her hands on it but couldn't hang on to it. By the way, only player really in any modicum of foul trouble is Adeline Walker for Franklin. She's on the bench, but she's got 4 fouls. No other player has more than 3.
This has been a difficult place for Westfield to throw it in. They've been trapped several times in the fourth quarter when it's been in front of their bench. Okay. Westfield really playing a little passive right now. Credit Franklin's good defense, though. Nice drive. Couldn't get it to go, though.
That was reminiscent of the opening quarter. Good looks that would not fall for Westfield. And Franklin, who's joining us, led for most of the first 3 quarters. And Westfield pushed it to 6 at 38-32. Franklin outscores them 8-2 down the stretch to get us to overtime.
The story so far has been the defensive effort by Westfield, quite frankly, holding this Franklin team to 40 points in the first 32 minutes.
Buning missed it. Remax with a defensive effort. And Crockett the rebound.
Partner, you said earlier the length Westfield has just seems to be bothering Franklin around the rim. Those are shots that are Franklin normally makes, but just the length. Westfield doing a good job keeping their hands up defensively and not fouling, though both teams are in the bonus here as we go into the overtime.
That is what has allowed Westfield to play as much zone as they have. Almost a turnover. Kelleher walking on thin ice. So 90 seconds in, no points in the overtime. Backdoor cut, Clem got her hands in the passing lane, and there's that aforementioned jump ball that'll go Franklin's way.
Nice defense by Lauren Clem on the baseline cut by Westfield. And again, nothing easy this second half, particularly this fourth quarter and overtime for either team. 1-2-2, half-court trap now.
Again, that length, getting the passing lanes, that's Remax at 5'10", that knocked that ball sideways. Washington and South Bend Washington are both in uniform, ready to take the floor when given the opportunity. Here's Kimbrell.
Five out.
Brunson. 3 by Trailer. Too strong.
Good block out.
Clem got her
couldn't get
hands
it though.
on it. Buning left it short.
Wow, they have just been so short around that rim here in the second half, and in the first half Westfield was short often.
We'll get a towel to wipe a little perspiration off of that ball after our second jump ball. We spent about 30 seconds.
Comes the full court pressure. It's going to be a man-to-man doubling Collinworth. Good switch. Crockett's got a mismatch. Can't get it to her, though. There, they got it. They found it. Mouse in the house, we call it.
Blocked by Kimbrell. Second chance for Crockett is good. Westfield, the first team on the board in the overtime. They lead with 90 seconds to go. Crockett with a dozen. It has been hard fought for the soon-to-be Michigan Wolverine today.
She is the leading scorer now in the game, though. Nice defensive play by the Rocks.
Brunson tried to force the issue. It wasn't there.
Yeah, no numbers for Westfield. No numbers for him.
And now Crockett will hold until forced to do otherwise. And as you mentioned, she is a 90% free throw shooter.
Triple screen at the top for Collinsworth just to move the ball right now. They're looking for a layup. Got to be careful. Active hands. Franklin's had really good hands all day. They have 8 steals, or they have 11 steals in the contest here heading into the overtime.
If I'm Crockett, I'm not giving this ball up unless I have to.
Well,
and she draws the foul, so 1 plus the bonus for Crockett.
Good possession here by Westfield. Let's see if she can convert.
Buning the foul, her 4th, so Buning and Walker each with 4 for Franklin. Crockett 2 of 2 from the line today. And timeout called by Franklin. Again, we'll keep it right here with 47 seconds left to go. Let's thank our buddy Andrew Prince of the Ferris Property Group. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, or even investing when it comes to real estate, Andrew Prince is here to help, and that is anywhere in central Indiana. Give him a call today at 317-883-7575 or online at prince.indyhomehunt.com. All right, so Crockett will have one of the bonus as we come back to live action. Again, 90% shooter on the season is Crockett from the free throw line. So if she makes them both, you're all of a sudden talking about a 2-possession game with less than 48 seconds to go.
Not having the normal stat line she normally has, 12 points the leading scorer in the game, but averaging almost 20 a game. She has got a rebound average in this contest, and she's just done some really good things. Unfortunately, she's really shot the ball uncharacteristic this game so far. She's 4 of 11 from the field, but has an opportunity to put her team up 3 and maybe even 4 here. We saw the huddle of Josh Sabo, and let's see if he runs something different, because right now the 5 out with a high pick and roll has not got them too many good looks. Westfield went to a 1-2-2 the last possession defensively. Let's see if they fall back man-to-man this time.
Westfield has a team 8 of 14 from the line. But they have the player they want at the stripe, and clearly the scoreline they like. But Crockett left that short, and it kind of shows you the wear and tear this game has taken. You're seeing shots short on both sides. So 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead for Franklin.
Nope, same offense, 5 out. They'll do a high post screen here pretty soon and go to the ball screen, but great defense. Ooh, Clem was close to getting the 5 second. Yeah, close.
And timeout coming by Franklin.
Okay.
Full timeout. Let's go ahead and step aside with 27 seconds left to go in the overtime. 42-40. Westfield leads. Franklin has the ball when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
At Forum Credit Union, we know strong communities invest in education. That's why the Forum Foundation has given over $800,000 to local educators and students pursuing their collegiate dreams. Learn how Forum gives back at forumcu.com. At Forum Credit Union, we provide smart ways to borrow money for life's planned and unplanned expenses. We also have fun, easy ways to save money. See how Forum can help you with your financial goals at forumcu.com.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks to David, Aaron, and Greg in the truck. Thanks to Elijah, Eric, and Shay on cameras, alongside Pete Smith, Greg Rakestraw with you. Again, Franklin has been held 30 points under their normal average, but yet here they are with a 2 to tie, a 3 to take the lead in the first overtime of this semifinal of the Hall of Fame Classic.
I think you probably get the ball to Brunson and see if she can do something with it, because she's been the most effective on being able to take advantage of her strength driving to the basket. And they're going to clear it out this right side for her.
She had a 3 to end the first half. Be looking for a 3 to end the game. Ball tipped away by Westfield. 8 seconds left to go.
Well, I will tell you, this Westfield team has been prepared defensively. Franklin's got no free looks, and another timeout called by the Grizzly Cubs. They were at the advantage. They had 3 to start the overtime. Westfield only had 1 timeout left.
Another timeout taken by Franklin. This time we'll go ahead and keep it here. All right. Design for me. What's your sidelines out of play here? You'll be your go-to, Coach.
Well, I think, as I said, I think Brunson's been the most effective player. She's got 11 points, and when I say that, she's been able to drive to the basket more effectively. Westfield's played very well, help defense, so every time there has been a drive, they've been able to stay in front. The length, as we mentioned throughout the game, has really affected Franklin. They're in the 1-1. It's a 2-possession game, so even though they're a 3-point shooting team, I don't look for them to shoot a 3 here. I expect them to probably get a 2-point basket opportunity, as you see the coaches looking at it.
And Franklin has not made a 3 in the second half. They're
That's
sitting
amazing.
on 5 for the game. They average making 10 per contest.
Yeah.
Traylor has made 1, Brunson has made 2, Buning has made 1, and Yoakum has made 1.
If they have some special play to get a layup right now, a backdoor, now is a good time.
But in the last 20 minutes, Franklin has scored 12 points.
Right. And that was with 8 of them in the fourth quarter. Only 4 there in the second quarter, or in the third quarter, I'm sorry. Okay, Westfield going to go to looks like solid man, but they disguise it, make it look like a zone.
Clem.
Traylor's going to be the isolation here in the post.
Traylor
got it.
Shot.
Oh, missed.
Halfway down and popped out.
Yeah, I
Fight
thought
for
that
the
was
loose
in.
ball game.
Wow.
Traylor got a great look, but could not get it to go. Franklin falls from the ranks of the undefeated. They are now 16-1. Westfield has won a 10th consecutive game, and they will play for the Hall of Fame Classic Championship later tonight.
They were going for the 2 to get the quick score, rolled off the rim. They were going to call a timeout or foul right away. Great defensive effort, though, by this Westfield Shamrock girls team.
So final score in this one, Westfield 42 and Franklin 40. Pete, your final thoughts?
Going to make both teams better, obviously. Westfield got a chance to defend a team that shoots a lot of threes. Meanwhile, Franklin playing a team that did not allow them to shoot threes. They've got to find something now to score 2-point baskets.
Today's game presented in part by Ball State University. Ball State, we fly. It was the defense that got the job done for Westfield, holding one of the state's leading scoring offenses, 30 points under their average, as the Grizzly Cubs finished with 40. For those of you watching online, we will take a break of about 15 minutes or so. We will come back for the second game of the day, featuring Washington and South Bend, Washington. 1 overtime basket. That belonged to Alyssa Crockett, but that was enough. Westfield wins it 42-40. Thanks for joining us for the first of 4 games today, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.